Hello, and welcome back to Minecraft Ieskai episode 5. Sorry for the long wait, but we have a lot on the to-do list today, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll explain along the way. Sound like a plan? Okay, so as you can see, we are in creative mode in a copy world because I actually lost the footage to this. But this is the before of the mountain that I am about to destroy, so let's jump into it. Okay, and here we are. We are currently destroying the mountain because I'm trying to clear away and make room for sort of like an industrial area, a place where I'm going to have a lot of farms, and that's basically what this whole video is going to be. I am going to attempt to build every farm in Minecraft that I can think about and automate it. So basically I won't even have to be there. It'll just fill up in the chest and it's going to be great. I will never need to go hungry again. I will never need this block again or this item again. It's going to be fantastic, making every other video coming out after this come faster. Hopefully that is the game plan. Alright, got it all nice and smooth. So the links for all these farms will be in the description down below. And we are just going over our materials here. I don't know why I tend to do this, but you'll notice like a bunch of like chests near builds I've done. Maybe I'm just too lazy to destroy it, but yeah, who knows. And we are going to be starting off with the crop farm, and that is your wheat, your carrots, your potatoes, and your beets. And we are of course going to be building all 4 of them, even though we're only going to be using mainly 1, 2 at the most of them. And but it's just nice to have the whole set. I'm sure one of the beetles wouldn't want to get left behind, so you know, it's just nice to have. And we're going to be taking this as big as possible. I think we're building 6, 7 stories maybe, I don't know. And most of the farms are going to have an item sorter if needed. And obviously this is one of them because, like I said, we're having the whole set. Wheat can be dropped as wheat or bread thanks to the villagers in there, so it's gonna be dope. And yeah, considering we're gonna make a farm in the later part of the video that will complement one of the items being dropped here, both of them will go nicely hand in hand together and make the best food in Minecraft. Also, feel free to let me know down below if you see any farm that I forgot. I tried planning this out and have like every farm imaginable, and obviously I wasn't able to get all of them, but I feel like I did a pretty good job getting majority of them. So yeah, let me know down below if you see a farm that I forgot. Okay, so let me explain what's going on and like how this farm works since we're almost done with the first layer. So there's basically going to be 4 farmers, i.e. thanks to the 4 composting bins in each section, and they're going to harvest their respectable crop and throw it towards a villager trapped in the middle of 4 Minecraft cart hoppers, and which then going to feed into our automatic system. Alright, let's take a quick peek. Nice, that's looking good. Anyways, yeah, and light source on top of the composter to prevent monsters from spawning. And now we're just going to get the villagers from the home base over closer to the farm to make breeding them and filling it up with the workers faster. And that's pretty much all we're doing. And we're gonna take this up like what, 6 levels, I think 7 levels, so that's probably 6 times 4, that's 24. Okay, yeah, so 24 villagers. Okay, adding the finishing touches on the roof here, and now we are going to be floating down to add in the items into the sorter to activate it, turn it on. I don't know, but basically this is the last step of this process and the farm will be up and running. Yeah, dude, look at that. Oh, it's working flawlessly. This is great. Okay, so now on to farm number 2, which is going to be the sugarcane farm. And I know we already have one near the base, but I kind of abuse my elytra and rockets. Like if something is 10 blocks away, I would rather fly to it than sprint, run, whatever. And the rate at which I use rockets, the other sugarcane farm doesn't keep up. No hate on the other sugarcane farm, it's just this one will make more than enough, 10 lifetimes worth of sugarcane farm. And I have an image of what the build over it to hide the farm looks like, and it's gonna look great. It's gonna look great. I'm super excited to build this. And yeah, what else are sugarcane used for besides rockets? I think just decorations. And obviously sugar and cake and all that, but you know, who needs that? Oh my gosh, I just thought about this right now, and I'm sure someone is probably watching this and being super annoyed with me. But you know, paper makes rockets and all that, but paper is also used for books, aka libraries and all that. So I guess this farm has more purposes or more uses than I thought, but I was only strictly focused on rockets. But yeah, obviously that'll be cool to have a bookshelf and all that. Build a very elaborate library, maybe like the one from Avatar. I'm not saying that's going to be the reference build for that show. I do have references build in mind from that show. But yeah, maybe something like that, a grand library thingy-majig. I'm not sure which biome it's going to take place in. You know, just spitballing ideas. Okay, and now all the redstone wiring and stuff is done, so let's have a look here. And that looks really good, actually. Okay, great. So now all we need to do is just add sugarcane to the front and the back, and then cover up each side with glass so that the sugarcane can't fall away from the farm, and it should be done. The person actually built a really good design over the farm. So we wouldn't need to be doing much to cover it, if that makes sense. They chose a good black to gray color scale here. You know, I was really feeling it, and the black color actually inspired me of what the cover build is going to be. So I'm really looking forward to that. Working on the backside here, which means we are almost done. Just gotta add a couple more blackstone. Okay, now let's go see if the farm is actually working, the items are being collected and all that. And nice, wow, look at that, almost 9 stacks. 2 gigantic farms down, on to the next one. Okay, on to our third farm, which is going to be the cactus farm. Now, I'm not sure what use I will need for a large amount of cactus. You know, I don't even know what cactus are used for other than green dye, and obviously setting up traps, I guess, to hurt entities. Actually, give me a second. What? They're used for breeding. There's camels in this game? I had no idea. There's a desert biome nearby, which I get most of my sand from. and I never seen a camel. Okay, sick, cool. There might be like a camel town, I don't know, coming soon, but that's very cool to know. Okay, cool. Cactus have another use than what I realized. Also, side note, I tried to build most of the collection area above ground, and usually that causes like a bit of a headache because the tutorial is the build, they dig underground collection area, and I have to like adjust for that. This is like the first one where I didn't do that because I guess my brain wasn't working that day, and I didn't like know how to like calculate the adjusted height, so I just went with it and digged underground. But I think like clearing or making like an L-shaped hallway underground is cool, and it'll give me a chance to like test out my cave decoration skills. I don't know though. Okay, so the mechanics for this farm is pretty simple, and it's that the cactus, when it grows, it will break itself if it grows next to a thingy. So we are going to put a fence above the first layer of the cactus, so I think we're going to break it off at level 2 of the cactus, and then it's going to fall off into the very elaborate water channels that we got flowing directly to the middle, which will then flow to the hoppers that we have in place. And that's pretty much it. The only reason why it took so long is because with there being holes in the ground, I walked using crouch the whole time, so that way when I'm placing like fence dirt, I don't fall into the hole. But other than that, it's actually pretty simple to build. None redstone wiring. I was gonna say not a lot, but yeah, there's no redstone wiring. It's all just simple mechanics and water. So yeah, it was a really easy farm to build, little materials. I don't think I'm gonna take it as tall as the other two, so probably not that many layers after the second one, but I am trying to get it to be like cube shape so that the cover build would make more sense. So if that gave y'all like any like hints to what the cover build is gonna be, congratulations. But yeah, it's not going to be the biggest, but it's definitely going to pump out a lot. Not that I wouldn't need that much anyways though, you know? Okay, on to our fourth farm, which is going to be our bamboo farm. Now, technically, I could have built this in the same shape as I did the sugarcane farm, but it's nice to have like, you know, more diversity, shape, height difference in this area. Plus, the cover build I'm going to do for this, I think is going to be really cool, really nostalgic. Hopefully, I think I would be able to pull it off. I don't know though. My friend just shot out an idea and I went with it. But yeah, I'm just going to do 3 bamboo farms, kind of tall. Let the bamboo reach their height limit, and then boom, chop them to harvest them. And bamboo, I mainly use them for obviously scaffolding, but I do plan on making a like panda land, panda sanctuary, panda zone. I'm not sure. But basically, it's going to have like a lot of pandas, a lot of bamboo. Bamboo is absolutely dope for decoration and all that. Okay, so the way this works is that it's actually kind of similar to like the sugarcane farm, and so this is like be great. Explain both farms in one shot. The bamboo will grow to whatever capacity it can, get in front of the observer, and then the observer will be like, "Hey, yo, I noticed a change," and then trigger the pistons at the bottom, chopping the bamboo, which will then be picked up by the mine cart with the hopper in it. And for those that don't know, observers, they are like this redstone block that has a face on it, and like right now is looking at nothing, is looking at air. And so obviously, so when something gets up in its face, it's going to send out a signal, and yeah, it's actually pretty easy. Observers, I would say, are the most used block in all of the farms here, and so I would say they are like an MVP of the farms. Okay, so now that we're building a second bamboo farm, we're probably going to make this one and then the third one shorter, just for the sake of like when it's time to harvest the bamboo, it's going to be faster. The yield isn't probably going to be as high because it is shorter, but it's going to take a while for the bamboo to grow as tall as the one in the middle. So this one, it'll just make it, speed up the process a little bit, make the whole operation smoother, in a sense. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that's what I was thinking while building this second and third one. Now here's a farm I'm not sure many people would think of. I know I certainly didn't think about it. Someone actually recommended me to build it, but a lava farm. And I'm going to try to build this in the shape of like a fountain, and yeah, lava doesn't flow like water, so there it will look kind of awkward. But I couldn't think of like another aesthetic way to just have lava be out there, and so yeah, I went with a fountain. I kind of replaced the materials from the tutorial with like nether stuff because lava, but I think it worked out pretty well. The collection area is obviously underneath the fountain with dripstone. First time using it, by the way. You're probably gonna be hearing that a lot. I haven't played a lot between the updates from like 1.15 to 14, I'm not sure, to whatever version it is now. I just thought about it, but like, you know how like every town center has like a fountain in the middle and like pathways around it, and the pathways branch off into like different type of other buildings. I think that this would actually be like a cool little centerpiece in our industrial area, because you know it's a fountain and it's round, so we could actually plan out the pathways to our industrial area, with this being at its quote unquote center, and yeah, just go from there. And it serves as like a light source area because of lava. So yeah, this is like multiple birds with one stone. Okay, on to our sixth farm, which is kind of like a 2-for-1 special because we're going to be building a farm for both the melons, watermelon and pumpkin. And I'm actually going to build it with blocks that match the items themselves. So we got cherry blossom planks and acacia planks just to be a little fun with it. And this farm was actually, I think the easiest to build, shockingly. Even though the lava fountain didn't require any like redstone setup or nothing like that. It was just a matter of fact of like getting all the lava to go and figuring out the flow pattern, and it's like, oh, it's flowing into here, there's no source block there, and all that stuff. Yeah, so this was the easiest farm to build so far, and I'm probably going to be using the pumpkin farm more than the watermelon. I think I could, well, you know what, I changed my mind, because watermelon could be used for brewing. Future video idea, mark that down. And pumpkins are only used for golems, iron, or snow. Okay, cool. Never mind. I take that back. So even though we're building the melon farms, I just thought about something in reference to the lava farm we just finished, and it kind of gave me like an idea for some future nether projects. Like I have two written down that I want to do, but I'm pretty sure y'all have seen this too if y'all like Minecraft. Wadzi, the Minecraft YouTuber, he made like a circular like hole in the nether lake and made it the plains biome, right? And I was just thinking about it while I was building like a circular nether themed lava fountain. Like, man, I would love to do that. I don't think it would be like, I guess, copyright per se. And obviously, I'm not going to build it to the scale he did because he's way more talented than me. But like, I think that would be cool to do the same thing he did. Build like a little hole in the nether lake. But instead of doing one biome, maybe try to tackle them all. Maybe try to tackle like other dimensions, you know, like who knows. I feel like that'll be a good fun little project. Okay, so up next is our bee farm, and this was actually supposed to be later on in the video, but I realized I needed some copper blocks, and the copper needed to be waxed, and aka not rust over time. And in order to do that, you need bee wax, beehive stuff, so that's why I'm building this first. And this is actually my first time building a bee farm. You're probably going to hear me say first time a lot, but yeah, first time in my Minecraft career ever building a bee farm. It was pretty simple, I definitely took a lot of damage, scoured a lot of the terrain near me to collect like what, 40 of this, but it was worth it, Okay, so I am on the Minecraft wiki trying to see what uses honey is good for, and it says that honey bottles are good for consumption. It brings up your hunger bar, but we have like a good handy dandy crop farm behind us, so we won't be using much of that. And honey blocks, I think are like good like redstone contraption blocks, but I'm not that handy with redstone, so I do see myself using it, but very rarely. So I guess the other side of the coin for this is going to be the honeycomb. Now the honeycomb is where the real magic happens, because like it can craft beehives, honeycomb blocks, it can wax the copper thing like I said earlier, but the main thing that catches my eye is the candles. Now the candles are going to play not a key factor, but a really important factor in the season finale, and I do plan on making it longer than this episode. And this episode we're looking at what, like an hour and 30 minutes so far, I think, and it's only that long, kind of like as a like, sorry I took so long, here's a long video. Hopefully there won't be many of that in the future, but whatever. So yeah, so the candles are the star of this farm, and I am really looking forward to the season finale. I realize I might have gone overkill with adding 64 bottles per dispenser, but like, you know, once again, I'm not gonna be using it as much, and I know they stack into 16, so I definitely like and won't probably have to refill this ever again, but you know, barely gonna use it, so I don't see the harm in adding that many bottles. And it is an underground collection area, which like I said I'm not a fan of, but I was probably building this farm at like
2 or 3 in the morning and didn't calculate the height because I was probably exhausted.
But we should be wrapping up soon and moving on to the next farm. Okay, and now we're building the slime farm, and it makes perfect sense that it follows the bee farm because the honey block works well with the slime block, and you know, those two are just a beautiful pairing. And like I said, we needed the copper lighting thingy, so we need to wax it with the honey wax. And lucky for us, there is a swamp not too far away from here where we can build a perfect slime farm. I actually thought we had to like press like F3 and G or whatever, find the biome where slime's growing, dig underground, build that whole contraption and all that, but nope. This just goes to show how long it's been since I played. But there's a swamp nearby where slimes farm or spawn in, and cool, we'll take advantage of that. Oh, is it just me, or is it like clearing out an area for a project like satisfying? Like it scratches like a certain itch in my head, how like there's like this rough terrain and a lot of trees, and I'm like, you know what, not anymore. I want to build a boat shack here or a taco stand here or whatever. I don't know, it's probably just me though, because it sounds kind of evil once you think about it, causing like deforestation. Okay, so this is now going to be the spawning chamber, I guess, or no, not spawning chamber, the killing chamber for the slimes, and they're going to be attracted to whatever entity we put into that little holding area, and we just gotta dig it deep enough to where they can't get out. Okay, I keep forgetting I have a beacon, man. This would have made this whole situation faster. And then some light renovation, because that's what the video said. And done. Nice. And so now looking up, this is the middle. Place a hopper right there. And boom. Shameless plugging, of course. Gotta pick non-burnable wood because we're gonna place lava there to kill the slime. And the water in the swamp is disgusting. Like, look at that. That's gross. Now we just spawned this little guy, act as bait for the slime, and boom. Thank you for your service, sir. Now all that matters is closing off this area, making it look mad dark. The video said to use like tinted glass, but like it's hard to find a lot of amethyst, so I can only make a few. So I decided to have a little slit down the middle be the tinted glass, so that way we can check in on what's going on. Alright, with our centers marked, all it has to do is close it off. Now here's like the copper lamps put in use. So apparently they put out like enough light to not spawn anything but slime, which is cool, I guess. I had no idea that this was even possible. Cause like I know some spawn conditions like creepers are shorter than skeletons, so you do this and that and boom, only skeletons can spawn. Or only creepers can spawn, but like the lighting situation, that's so like fine detail stuff that it's out of my wheelhouse. Okay, just adding the last little bit here, then we can go underground and work on the redstone wiring. Nice. Oh, this is also the first time I got to use an auto crafter. What an item. Minecraft should have introduced that way back in the day. The only thing I'm not too confident in is the power block source, whatever thingamabobber, because the video tutorial said I needed to have a composter, filled it all the way up to where the white shows, and leave it at that, and that will power the auto crafter. And in another farm, you use an item frame with an item turned to a certain angle. That part confuses me because I don't understand what the purpose is. But obviously I'm not going to question it. I'm going to follow it to the letter. Now we have arguably what I think is going to be the most useless farm in Minecraft. And you're probably thinking, why am I building this over another farm that I'm sure I forgot? The reason why is because I simply remembered this one. That's it. That's my only explanation. And it's nice to have, obviously. If I was to remember the other one, I'm sure I would have built it. But yeah, it's just nice to have a mushroom farm, because I can say I have all the farms possible. Now, does it produce a lot? Arguably no, but it produces, so that's a win in my book. Okay, I stand corrected. After doing a little bit of research on the Minecraft wiki, it turns out brown mushrooms are actually used for fermented eye, which is used for potions. So I apologize to mushroom and all mushroom kind, the creator of this farm. He did a great job. This is no hate towards him. But yeah, I apologize to all mushroom kind. I undervalued y'all. But yeah, fermented spider eye, that was cool. But now that I think about it, this terrain does kind of look kind of like witchy, and witches give off potion vibes. So maybe I will build like a little brewing hut stand thingy, and definitely have some mushrooms for decorations. So I guess this farm will be put to more uses than I thought. So, well, I stand corrected. I'm sorry. Okay, and here we have the sweet berry farm, and these two mother were a pain in the ass to catch. I had to like, there's a forest nearby here. It's just a short elytra flyaway, and I thought you could like lure them in with sweet berries. Apparently you can't. So what I did was I dig like a 3x3 whatever hole, went all the way around and like scared them into the hole. But before that, I probably spent like an hour or so tracking them down because I just thought you could. The video was just like, oh, have a sweet berry in your hand and have a lead, and boom, pow, you'll catch them. Lies, all lies. But yeah, so after I capture them in the hole, transfer them over here via boat, blah blah blah. Now they're nicely trapped, and they are going to be my harvesters of the sweet berry. Sweet berry, I'm going to probably be using it for decorations mainly. I never eat them because they are like what, half a hunger bar, completely worthless.
So I don't know if y'all noticed, but or during this video, but I've been trying to talk more, I guess, because I noticed in previous videos there's like large moments of just music and not really commentary, and you know, I don't really like that. Trying to fix it. I'm just kind of shy behind the microphone. But I was also thinking maybe next season when I warm up a little bit, I was thinking about putting like a POV camera in like the bottom left corner, just to, I guess, be more personal and stuff, but really put myself out there. I would love to have like a green screen behind me, you know, really put myself into the video game. One of my favorite Minecraft YouTubers, Paul GG, bro, his like whole like setup and stuff looks really, really nice. And maybe I'm trying to like go for that aesthetic, you know?
Okay, down to the final two farms. First one being the coarse fruit farm.
Okay, so now with this farm, the main thing I'm hoping to get from this farm is obviously a lot of stuff to make end rods, and like, let's see what the other ingredient for end rods is. Oh, blaze rods. Oh, so I need a blaze farm. Well, mark that down for a farm to put in, you know, in the next video, all the farms part 2 or whatever. And with that, the coarse fruit farm is done.
Okay, obviously I'm joking. I'm simply marking this area because I couldn't find like a AFK automatic coarse fruit farm, so I'm probably just going to focus more on aesthetics than efficiency for this one. And then same thing with the nether wart. Marking this area and just going to mainly build an aesthetics farm for this. And that's pretty much it. We're done. We could, you know, dust our hands off and work on what I consider to be the 5 final endgame farms. Okay, so luckily for us, there is an ocean monument near spawn, and that is going to be the first one. So like I said, in my opinion, there are 5 endgame farms. Those being the ocean monument, wither skeleton, gold farm, and another Enderman and Shulker box. And we're going to tackle all of them in this video, and that's probably the bulk of the video, I think. I'm not too sure where we are in the editing process.
So let's start off with the basic platform near the ocean monument, and this is basically going to be our work area, and we're under attack. Okay. Oh snap. Oh dang, okay. Yeah, we're definitely too close. So here, let's back it up here. Nice. And but yeah, that thing that attacked us is what we're going to be farming. We're going to be building a guardian farm, and mainly I'm building this for the prismarine light block. That's up there with my favorites. And first we need to find the elder guardian, which I think this is like its room, chamber, I don't know. Just so that we can get the mining fatigue out of the way. Okay, at least I think he's supposed to be in here.
Hello? Huh. Maybe he's down this corridor. Hello? Yo, there's no Elder Guardian in this. Okay, whatever. Okay, so the video tutorial I am following says that we destroy this whole ocean monument, and from like the outermost block of the ocean monument, build the walls up, drain the whole thing, and build the spawning chambers for it. And you know, that'll be, oh, that's such a cool design to me, because I don't know, it's symmetrical, it like, you know, ticks the right boxes in my brain. And I thought of like how to connect it to the village. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Also, I plan to drain out every ocean monument in this world that I see and transform it. Obviously, you have your classic like glass circle around it, but then they'll be cool to see like squares, octagons, or star-shaped, whatever. Or build villages in the dry area, transform it into like another ocean monument or a jungle. I don't know. You've seen thousands upon thousands of YouTube videos of people doing this, so I think it'd be cool just to do it at every one I see. Is it gonna take a long time? Yeah, because it took me, I think, like a week to do this whole thing. But it'll be worth it because it's all for aesthetic purposes.
This is going to sound weird, but like being underwater and near all this like seaweed, algae, and like the sea guardian swimming around, it's really got me thinking about seafood. I love seafood, freaking sushi, fish tacos, shrimp Alfredo, the best of them, freaking seafood boil. I love it so much. As a famous Try Guy once said, if Cthulhu came out of the water, chop him up, serve him up to me, I would eat him whole. Pause. But I love seafood that much. And I was thinking, like, I know that they're make-believe characters and all that, but like, I wonder what sea guardians theoretically could taste like. Like, I know there is a game theory video talking about how they're like robotic bodyguards for the sea temple built by ancient builders, blah 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 blah. But like, remove all that, right? Pretend they're not. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they would be like spicy, like naturally, because of the laser shooting ability. But I don't know though, they could just be based off of pufferfish. But then there's a pufferfish in the game already. So I don't know. I'm probably just going crazy being underwater this long.
Oh, if y'all couldn't tell, I am very much an amateur at draining ocean monuments. I'm not sure, like, obviously I know the sand pattern and you do it every 3 blocks or whatever, but in terms of like placing sponges, right, like no one ever talks about like the cleanup after the sponge. Do you use like scaffolding, or do you like parkour and go one sponge to one sponge? I don't know, what is like the most effective way to like collect the sponges after you drain the, drain each section?
While draining this huge area, though, it's got me thinking. Since this is technically near our plains biome and all that, would it I guess it would still count as like the plains region, I guess, if I was to how you say transform it, I guess, make it look like it belongs to the plains biome, maybe switch out some block palettes. The prismarine around it definitely isn't helping its argument because obviously it's an ocean thingy, and I feel like I'm kind of stealing some content from the ocean season. But that one has like a lot of pre-planned projects, so I feel like we're pretty good. Obviously, y'all feel free to leave some more projects down below if you feel like I didn't think about it. But yeah, I feel like this is pretty close enough to where I could count it as a plains biome. And I don't know what I want to be. I think I might mainly just use this for a farm and not do anything like crazy to it. But who knows? I definitely want to like remodel the design of it because I feel like it's gonna it looks crazy, right? But we could make it look more we could add more references to it, I feel like, and really make it like stand out, make it look like it belongs in this world. I'm not too sure what to cover it in to give it a reference. Maybe it doesn't even need a reference, but like definitely it needs to be spiffed up, you know, add a little spice to it. Okay, I think she's done, so let's go have a look here. Yeah, man, look at that. Empty! Oh, wow. Okay, so the destruction of the ocean monument took, I think, a Sunday afternoon. Draining it took a week, and hopefully the building it will take maybe like an afternoon. But, so here's basically the game plan. We're going to try to find the center here, and then we're going to build the spawning platforms, which is going to be 4 towers, and then the platform where they fall into, that's going to be another tower, so 5 towers total. And they're going to fall onto some campfires, which is going to kill them, and their drops will be collected underneath and then transported due to some technical difficulty, red wiring thingy or redstone wiring that I have no idea about. And it's going to be then transferred to a large automatic sorting system. I don't know how many chests we're going. I think maybe 12 per item, and they drop 3, I think. So 36 items, 36 boxes total. I'm pretty sure it's going to get filled up a lot or quickly, which is great because prismarine lights are dope. And I saw on TikTok today, so I guess add that to the other forgotten farm that I forgot about. But frog lights are also, or frog light farms, I should say, are also a thing. Had no idea. I knew that getting it was ridiculous with like the magma cubes and frogs have to eat them. But yeah, I guess add that to the list of another farm I need to create. And you know, I'm definitely gonna do a part 2 of all the farms, but like part 2 of the farms, the forgotten ones, or something like that, you know? But yeah, building this was pretty cool, pretty dope. I highly recommend it, really easy to follow. Okay. Y'all see it? Y'all see the towers coming in a frame? Y'all see the vibrations this farm be on? And I'm recycling a bunch of the blocks I use from destroying the ocean monument. So win-win. But I have a question. So when building stuff like this, right? Like I guess like large farms or mega builds or whatever, do y'all like lock in and go for it, or do y'all like have like background music, podcasts, whatever going on in the background? because I don't know if it's because of my ADHD or not, but like while building this, I had a podcast going. I was playing like a mobile game or something like that. I think I was playing like Bloons Tower or something. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be able to fully lock in unless I'm doing 2 other things. Especially since like it took so long. Okay, so right now we are clearing out space for the behind the scenes redstoning for this whole farm to function and all that. And I hope that like I never have to touch this again, because like I'm sure this the red wiring is simple to some people. I don't know though, but I feel like such a stupid little, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it. But yeah, I had a miserable time setting up only because I didn't know how it worked. Like I wanted to learn how it worked and I couldn't figure it out. And then there's like an abandoned mine shaft the other way, and I had to plug that whole situation up after fending off like 5 creeper and skeletons and whatnot. I also learned that jack-o'-lanterns are a really good block to do redstoning, because like the dimming of the lights like affects like chunks loading or something like that. I'm not too sure. Once again, I don't know anything about redstone, so I just follow the teachers and just copy their work word for word, and it works out okay. Yo, and then let me say this. Whoever initially designed the auto sorter system deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, because holy crap, I feel like it is the most used thing among every Minecraft player ever. Okay, and now we're adding soul campfire because it's blue and it matches the whole farm. And the killing chamber is complete. Now we just gotta create the spawning chamber. And the spawning chambers, no joke, like each tower probably took me roughly upwards to like 30 to 40 minutes. Because like, so the way it works, right? A source block on top of a soul sand block will create bubbles and will boost you upward. And obviously everyone uses that to create a bubble elevator. Now you place seaweed on some flowing water block, and then that transforms it into a source block. Okay, now Minecraft water physics is so bizarre that like when like certain corners turn to source blocks, then the whole shebang turns into source blocks. And though on top of that, sea guardians are spawning in there already, because you know it's the only water within the ocean monument area, and I'm basically trapped against the bubbles because there are some that aren't source blocked yet, so I'm trapped against those and sea guardians, and it felt like I was fighting God with a twig. It was so unnecessarily difficult. Okay, now we're working on farm number 2. Thank you for the turtles. And basically we're going to be taking their offspring for farm number 2, which is going to be a gold farm, and it's going to be taking place on top of the nether roof. Now, disclaimer, I am in the wrong biome, okay? You're supposed to be building this farm over the nether wasteland biome, and I am in the warp forest. I'm in the warp forest, basically where my original nether portal is. I had a total mind slip. But yeah, so before y'all like come attack me in the comments, I know, okay? I spent like probably 4-5 hours building this farm in the wrong biome, then destroyed it, and then found another wasteland and built it on top of that correctly. So it worked. It works fabulously. Obviously not right now because it's in the wrong biome, but it works. Also, note to anyone who wants to build this farm, probably have like a good 8 to 10 shulker boxes full of magma cubes. So right now we are setting up the auto crafter situation because I know the farm drops gold nuggets. But, you know, why would we do that when we have our fancy dancy auto crafting block, and we can have it spit out gold blocks instead of gold nuggets? because 9 gold nuggets is 1 gold bar, and then 9 gold bars is 1 gold block. So that's 1 gold block is 89 or 81 math. Yeah, 81 gold nuggets, which, you know, that sounds like very efficient to compact it into such a little thing. The you know, redstone setting up as usual confused me, but it's okay, we got through it. Now, I don't know if this is gonna upset y'all or not, but the farm, like the middle of the farm, is offset by 1. And I don't know if y'all got that, but let me explain. The circle that I built this platform, or that I built this farm on, is an even number. Like the outermost layer is even. The farm outermost circle layer, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, is odd. And I was going to try to fiddle with it, but I was too scared I was gonna mess it up. And you know, I like to follow the creator to the letter with it. So yeah, it's even, but the platform's odd. It bugged the living daylight out of me, but then the circle was complete and it looked so pretty that I was just like, you know what, whatever. No one's gonna, you know, no one's gonna notice. It's gonna be a quick flyby, and no one's gonna be like, oh, that thing is odd, while this thing is even. So the first platform, being an octagon, is almost done. Note to self, drink a fire resistant potion, that way I don't have to be crouching the whole time. Definitely made it feel longer than it needed to be.
Okay, and then 4 podcasts later, we are done with 10 layers, all for the spawning platform for the zombie piglin. And then now we just need to start working on the inner workings of it, which is actually pretty simple. It's just going to be trapdoors along the edge, so that they are like tricked into thinking that's a full block that they can stand on. And then that will cause them to fall. And then what will attract them to the middle is the turtle eggs. I don't know what their beef is with turtles, but not my business. We're gonna keep it pushing. Yeah, so we're going to put the turtles in the middle, have it defying gravity a little bit, and then we're going to build like a nice protected cage for it with the trapdoors as well, and build the cage all the way up to ensure maximum security, and then build a roof on it so no gas can spawn, and then we're done. Well, we gotta build the AFK platform too, but then we're done. Okay, with adding the cage here, we are almost done. So I would just like to say again that I am currently in the wrong biome, okay? I'm saying that again here at the end because you are going to see a weird editing cut. It's going to be a purple background, nothing's really working, which is weird because, like, you know, zombie piglins should be spawning by now, but they're not. Yeah, so purple background, wrong biome. It's going to cut to me at the AFK farm looking down. Red background, farms working like a dream. Okay, cool. But yeah, I think that goes without saying. Any farm that is like heavily based on a location needs to be taken super seriously. And I think the only one I did that for was the creeper farm. Because this said build above a warm ocean. Did that, and it works like a dream as well. So do not overlook location. I feel like a real estate agent, like location, but yeah, do not overlook it. It is a vital part of a farm. And boom, the farm is up and running, and times what you see here by 10, and that's happening on every layer. And with that, we should be good to go. This end game farm is done, and we can move on to the third one actually. Okay, so on to farm number 3, and we are currently in a nether fortress because we are going to be building a wither skeleton farm. As you know, collecting wither heads could take up to like hours to collect, just enough for one beacon. And this farm, it's not so much that it's redstone heavy, it's more like it's like dimensional, like use heavy, if that makes sense. Like, you're going to use multiple nether portals in order to get this farm up and running, and this is the first, well, shocker, this is the first for me. And
I thought we were going to do the thing where like you place down wither roses in an area, only making wither skeletons able to spawn, and then you block off everything within like a 120 block radius. Like you make it unspawnable. That's like what I thought was gonna do. But no, this is like the latest best thing, and you know, who am I to say no? I will say this farm is very like coordinate heavy. Like you need to know your coordinates like heavy, and the nether coordinates, or the nether itself, is like 8 times smaller than the overworld. So that definitely added to the complexity of the farm, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. And at the end of the day, I think I'm going to be using this farm the most anyways, because who doesn't want a lot of beacons? I would love to have like the dream base where there's like, what, 6 is like I think the maximum. 6 beacons in like each of the corners, maybe in the town center, and just make the whole area unkillable for me. Wouldn't that be dope? And then you just have like lasers shooting up in the sky and stuff. It's gonna be so cool.
Oh, I also forgot. So obviously wither skeletons drop their heads, but you also get the bones and the coals. And then with coals, right, I feel like they are an underrated item, because like you get it early game and you like appreciate it, but then when it's late game and you have a lot of coal, then you kind of don't be appreciating as much. You kind of like skip over it whenever you go mining. But then like once you run out, then of course you have to go mining, and then for some reason, or in my scenario, they become harder to find. But now that this farm solves that, and then in the case of bones, multifunctional. Obviously, I was stressing about a bone mill farm. I didn't know where to place it in the little industrial area, and some of the farms I've seen, the yield isn't too crazy, I guess, for the size. So if you want like a high yield, make a way bigger thingy, or you can just build this and then get bones, which 1 bone equals 9 bone meal. So the yield is good, is really good. But then on the flip side, the bones themselves, like I'm pretty like late into the game and I don't have a single dog on home base, and I would like to obviously change that. So that's coals, bone meal, and then wither skeleton heads. So 4 boxes checked off with 1 farm, which is highly, I don't know, I feel like it's not as appreciated as much as it should be. Okay, and then now we are building the portal, which is going to transport them all to the killing chamber, taking down our coordinates like I said, and boom, they are going to be walking through here, and we are technically done. And right now we are directly above that little spawning chamber. And now this is where the killing chamber is going to be, making it out of glass to make it spawn proof. Also, note to self, glass does not work well with redstone thingy. I tried to like build the automatic sorter, like the wiring on glass, did not work. Okay, and then marking down our coordinates again, and then we go through this nether portal, I believe. Oh jeez, oh my god, there's so many. The farm. Okay, clearly the farm worked really well. I was able to kill all of them, and now we just need to relocate this nether portal above ground. I think it's like floating in the air. It's gonna be like a little mini highway for them. I don't know the mechanics of this dimensional thingamajig that we're doing, but it works, so you know, whatever. So if I'm correct, they are gonna come through the portal that's taller, and there's gonna be so many of them, they're gonna push themselves into this portal right here, which is going to take them here. Great, it works out. It's going to take them right here. Awesome. And then this portal directly across should spawn us underground. I'll move it up later, don't worry. So yeah, so now just, I think the farm is working. So now we're just making the collection area. Look at that, works like a dream. Like I said, got the little hopper train to the collection area.
So I totally forgot that they carried stone swords, but I built like an automatic like trash can to get rid of that and any other unnecessary stuff like sometimes zombie piglins get through, but we're good. And we're just gonna be here until we get 3 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. Boom, like that. And now we are guaranteed to have at least 64 beacons, which is crazy. And this farm is now done. So we can now move on to endgame farm number 4. Okay, and then here we are in the end where we are going to be building the world famous Enderman farm that will take you from 0 to level 30 in a few minutes with the classic 2 stacks of leaf blocks away from the main island. And obviously every Minecraft player has this or should have one. And I know technically I have 2 EXP farms with the wither skeleton and the creeper, but like they just don't be like producing results like this one. And it's pretty simple to build. Like, why not build one, you know? Basically, this is going to be the killing chamber, where after their long fall, there should be a one hit and insta kill. These hoppers are to get rid of the ender pearls, because I highly doubt I'm gonna have a lot of use for it. Okay, and then now we're building these little rings to ensure that they fall in a straight line and not anywhere else or do anything crazy. Make sure we build it too high so that they can't actually spawn on this. And then we're done. Now we start building the spawning platform, and we probably need to be extremely careful here because like even like a little bit of an area and they'll start spawning like crazy. So we're going to build 4 markers for our square and then start connecting the dots, and then after we connect the dots, fill it in, and they should be spawning like crazy. Like look at that, they're already spawning on that skinny little rail. Yeah, we're fine as long as we just don't look at them in the eyes. Literally, like, what a weird thing to get a monster pissed off. They are like what, mutual mobs, but then you look at them and then oh, now they're pissed. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Okay, spawning platform complete. Now, and then now we are going to put the trapdoors because they're dumb. And then this little area is supposed to be like where we do the ender pearl trick and then spawn the endermite. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it definitely hurts a lot, so good thing I packed up on golden carrots thanks to my gold farm. And boom, there he is, okay. And boom, Kira Kumo. I actually asked AI for that name, and we turn it on now. And look at that, works like a dream. But yeah, Kira Kumo comes from Kira Death Note, and Kumo I think means spider. I don't know, that's what AI said. Yes, look at this, absolutely beautiful. Top of the tippity top in EXP farms, and it's working so good. Okay, so we were on our way to the last endgame farm, but we are actually short on supplies because I need a lot of scaffolding and I am short on string. So we are going to do a quick mini build of a spider farm. I found this little dungeon thanks to Chunk Base, and we're going to quickly turn this into a spawning chamber, or a spider farm, excuse me. And like that, all done. And yeah, I'm probably just going to cut when I have like a lot of string, and that way we can resume back to the end game process.
Like that. Only a few minutes too. Look at that. Okay, anyways, sorry about that little detour, but we are now on our way because we are building a shulker farm. Shulkers, Minecraft's version of backpacks, and it says to build it near an end city, so I'm going to build it where I found my elytra. And cleared out a little, you know, nice little flat area. It's nice to have a flat area to begin working on farms. And then, okay, now let me say this. This farm is probably the single most confusing farm in terms of mechanics. Like, I understand how some of the early farms I built, how they work with like the observers, or how some mobs farm works because of like their spawning condition or whatever. This one makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't understand how it works. The only thing I guess I kind of know, and I'm not even sure if I'm 100% correct, is that like shulkers don't identify the bottom of scaffolding as a block, but they do identify as a top, so they'll fling to that or teleport to that, and then once they do, they can't go down. I don't know. And then they can clone themselves apparently. I didn't know that. I learned a lot while building this. Also, this farm was like instructional heavy. The creator, which again links down in the description below, was like, do a practice build, otherwise you will waste 4 hours, which I did, and you know, it works like a dream. But yeah, maybe I'm just too stupid to understand, and you know what, that's okay, because we have wonderful YouTube tutorial people out there, and you know, big shout out to them. I was going to say what this platform is, but once again, I have no idea the mechanics of this. The only thing I do know is that we are done technically, and now we just gotta work on transporting this one guy who is somehow going to clone himself. Nice. And then just get him to go. Oh, okay, nice. Now get him to go. Go, come on. Nice. And now he's on his way to his forever home, where he is going to clone himself and then shoot himself, and that's what's going to drop the shulker thing. And then this is our AFK chamber behind a soul flame. I don't get it, but check this. It works, so I don't need to get it because it works. And with that, we are done. Once again, I would like to thank y'all for y'all's patience, and hopefully this long video makes up for my long break. If y'all like what y'all see here, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do. But with that, I will be seeing y'all in the next video. Peace.